Hello everybody and welcome back to the middle of our Best of 2017 series, and today we're going to talk about the best highlighters, blushes, and bronzers, and these are some of my favorite makeup products, so I'm really glad that you decided to join me today. I have lots and lots to say, but surprisingly I have only a few products that have won the top dog spots, and I do also want to briefly mention before we jump in this really incredible highlighter combo. I don't even know what happened. I was just applying a bunch of highlighters and this happened. So quickly I want to mention I tried out the Chosungah 22 24-hour Raybeam cream because this was actually on super clearance at Sephora for $14, and I got the pink pearl shade, which is just super brightening. I used it as a base underneath my foundation, and then because I'm just super extra, I used the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand on top of my foundation, and then on top of that I used my Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold, which brings us to our #1 highlighter of the year. I do really like this, especially because I have kind of light yellowish skin, so this light gold color is super flattering on people of my skin tone, but I feel like a lot of people would find it very easy to wear because the color is kind of neutral. It's not super gold. This is only $42, and at first I was so not convinced about this because it comes in a cardboard packaging, which I just hate. But I found that for whatever reason I just reach for this product more than any of my other highlighters, so it gets my top highlighter spot of 2017. My second highlighter favorite is actually a formula, not a particular one, and that is the Dior Luminizers, which are $56 a piece. They are a little bit more expensive, obviously, than the Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold, but I find that they have a beautiful color selection. I do have 01, which is kind of a beige nude, 02, which is a silver pink, and 03, which is a beige gold, slightly darker than the Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold, but you could not go wrong with any of these. They also do have a more bronze one, but that one doesn't really work for my skin tone. And they just came out with these holographic type Dior highlighters, so I'm really excited to pick those up. They come in a very similar compact. I've already ordered them. They should be here in the new year, and you can bet I'm going to do a review for you guys. Lastly, I have a highlighter that I want to give an honorable mention to because it's just so crazy expensive that I can't really feel comfortable putting it in one of my top spots, but that is the Chantecaille Holiday Highlighter from this year. It is $79. You can see it comes with a very brightening pink color and a very intense gold color. This is a really beaming highlight. You can mix them together to get kind of a more natural effect, but this thing just is amazingly shiny and I love it. It is $79 again, but you do get 2 different colors in here, which makes it hurt a little bit less. I do think this is an excellent highlighter formula, however. Next, we're going to talk about the best blush of 2017, which is kind of like asking me to choose a favorite child because blush is just absolutely my favorite. So I'm just going to pick 3 that I really love from this year at different price points, and I'm going to start with the cheapest of them, which is the Galifornia blush from Benefit. This choice may surprise some of you guys, but it's actually one of my favorite blushes because it's just so brightening. Every time I wear it, I just feel like my face glows with health, and it's $29. It does have a little tiny mirror inside of here, and it's a lovely peachy pink shade with a little bit of gold in it, and it also smells very strongly I don't know, peach, but also the beach in summertime. It's kind of hard to describe. I did do a full review on it, and the texture, the color, and the finish of this blush, I just love every single thing about it. So I do think this one's really worth checking out. This next blush gets second place, mostly because I really don't like the packaging, but everything else is fantastic. When I say that, some of you may probably be able to guess that I'm talking about the Surratt blush. It's only $32, which isn't horribly expensive, but I feel like it loses points because it kind of expects that you'll buy another palette and buy at least 1 or 2 other blushes to put into the palette. However, this is just the most beautiful shade, and right now some of you are totally screaming because this looks like a bubblegum pink shade, but it is so perfect on the skin because this is such a finely milled blush. It never looks too heavy. It's really hard to overdo it because it applies very softly on the skin, and it looks like it's just a natural kind of healthy glow from within your skin. It doesn't look like the product sits on top of the skin, if that makes sense. And this pink color just really gives you a nice healthy flush. The shade is Tu me fais rougir, which means you make me blush, which is so appropriate. And yeah, I love everything about it except for the packaging. It's probably also my favorite matte blush that I have. Next, we're going super highbrow with a Tom Ford blush. These are $60. They come with like a little package and their own case with a little gold Tom Ford logo on it. Everything about it is super cute. The packaging is done really well. It's 8 grams of product. It's pretty expensive for a blush, but I do feel like everything about this one is perfect. I did pick up a different shade that I didn't really like, so I think for the price point, you should go in store if you can and try it out for yourself first, because that one was very like extremely shiny on my face, but it didn't give me like a lot of color, so it kind of was more of like a highlighter or something to me than an actual blush. This is shade 01, which is Frantic Pink. And it has like a really very gentle pink color. You can see it would be really hard to overdo it on your skin. I don't really think this color would work very well for people who are medium or deep in skin tone, but if you're kind of fair and you're looking for a very natural looking blush that also has a healthy glow without being like very shiny and texture enhancing on your face, this is kind of like a blush and a highlighter in one. And it's just a beautiful product. It sits on the skin so well. The color is like a nice flush, but it's very gentle and subtle, and I love everything about it. Lastly, we have the best bronzers, which was kind of a difficult pick, to be honest, because I feel like bronzers are so personal to each person's skin tone. Even though this isn't technically like a bronzer, it's supposed to be a contour. You can use it either way, in my opinion. I love my Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt and Glow. It's $68. I don't get that much use out of the highlight, to be honest, but I love this sculpting powder. I typically use it as a contour and then kind of come up toward the top of my face and use it as a bronzer, and it works very well both ways. The powder is really nice and fine, and again, it's just one of those products that's really hard to screw up and look patchy because it's just such a nice texture. It blends very well and you never look like you have like a line of product on your face, so it's just really easy to use and totally worth it. My next favorite is a formula from a palette that I own, but you can also buy them individually. The palette is $59 and I think it's a good value to try out a few products, and individually they're $40 per bronzer, and that is the formula from the Nars Bord de Plage palette, which has 4 highlighters and 2 bronzers in it. And this is their Sunwash Diffusing bronzer formula. Before, when I tried the old Nars Laguna, I didn't really get what everybody was raving about because to me it was just kind of meh, and the old one looked very green on me. I don't know why. But this new Nars Laguna and the Sunwash bronzers is just like the perfect, very subtle bronzer, but again, the powder is just so finely milled, so difficult to screw up. It blends so well and looks so natural. I think you could find a shade that you would love in this collection, because the range is wider than just these two, and I just think it's so user-friendly, which is why I would recommend that as my next favorite bronzer formula. So that's it for today. Please come back tomorrow and we'll talk about the best lip products of 2017, and again, just leave me a comment below if you have any favorite highlight, blush, or bronzer products that you think I should really check out, and I'll talk to you again really soon. Bye guys!